1 year ago, I posted a video transforming Skyrim into Lord of the Rings. And I was left asking whether it's actually possible to improve further upon Middle-earth Redone. Well, it turns out, we can. From as long as I can remember, The Lord of the Rings has been a huge part of my childhood, teenage and now adult life, and I know it's the same for many of you too. And throughout that period, we've all been awaiting the ever-fading announcement that just maybe, there would be an open world, Middle-earth RPG. But just like everything else that we wish would come true, you can always count on the Skyrim community to bear the burden of creating any experience you could dream of. A world of fantasy and adventure. A world of ancient tales and magic. A world to get lost in, but one that feels ever so familiar. From the very feel of the first-person combat mechanics, to the survival and adventure that comes with your journey travelling across a rebuilt Middle-earth, we're going to completely overhaul the look and very essence of your game to create a next-gen survival Middle-earth adventure that we've all been waiting for in 2021. So for the second time, let's go there and back again. For the longest time, visuals in Skyrim have revolved around the same things. A new ENB might come out which handles lighting in a more appealing way than those that came before it, or a new texture pack gets released in 8K instead of 4. But it isn't until now, until the very core of what makes up the tone of Skyrim's landmass has been turned completely on its head. Thanks to a series of mods that, if not already, you're going to be seeing a lot of in YouTubers' videos over the next few weeks. And when I tried these for myself, I couldn't help but draw resemblances to J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. Folkvanger, Origins of the Forest, and Jedi Trees are three mods which together completely transform the entire landmass of Skyrim into a dense wonderland of looming trees and thick shrubbery. Folkvanger, offering a bunch of varied new grass types to cover the various regions of Skyrim, is honestly one of the best new grass mods I've seen, mostly to do with the variance and depth of each grass it provides, and paired with Origins of the Forest, which aims to add a plethora of new bushes to reflect the dynamic and unkept growth of Skyrim's great forests. They make for the most realistic and enchanting flora combination I've seen in Skyrim. And then throw Jedi Trees on top of that, a mod which transforms all of the trees within Skyrim with a combination of many of the best tree mods to be released. They serve to offer you a completely transformed Skyrim like nothing you ever thought could be possible in a 10-year-old game. And lucky for us, it affects new land mods as well. This is Middle-earth Redone, a mod which you might recognise from, the video that most of you discovered me from. And with all these mods installed, I can assure you it's a completely different experience than even a year ago when I made that video. Whether it's the thick, unkept forest sprawling with shrubbery, or the larger-than-life trees that tower over the once tiny ferns that used to litter the forests. These mods give us the mystical, yet realistic Middle-earth that we've always loathed to explore. From the new wild outskirts of the Shire, resembling the look of what was depicted in the movies, to Troll Shores being home to large towering trees bordering the River Bruinen, and even the many sites around Edoras now becoming more dynamic and mystical to explore. There's no shortage of new incredible sights to see and locations to immerse yourself in on your journey across the new Middle-earth. And for this video I've been using the Rudy ENB along with Obsidian Weathers and the Nolvus Reshade to really give Skyrim, and more importantly Middle-earth, the perfect tone and weather pattern you'd expect to see in a next-gen Lord of the Rings game. And for the most part, bar from a few meshes, textures and additional effects mods which are pretty much up to your personal taste and computer capabilities, we have, at least visually, a completely new, next-gen Middle-earth world to house your many adventures. But we're not quite done there. Now, combat is something that if you've been around the channel for a while, you know I've played around with a lot. But for this video, we're going to focus on an area of combat that up until now, I haven't really explored, and that's the first-person combat. The first mod is one which was recently released and aims to completely overhaul every single animation of first-person combat. Size Matters creates the base of our combat system by adding new interesting animations which differ depending on the weapon type used, from longswords to axes, maces, and pretty much every other melee weapon in the game. What's especially great about this mod is the weight and variance it offers to each swing. A mace might relay the impact of crashing into a target, or a greatsword power attack thrusting instead of slicing. And to pair alongside the feeling of causing actual damage to enemies, I'm also using a mod by the name of Maximum Carnage, which does just that, causes actual damage to targets upon killing them. And it doesn't just apply to humanoid enemies. Bears, wolves, Falmer, trolls, and just about anything you can think of has pretty much been overhauled by this mod. And it really does add that much needed bit of impact to your killing blows. Now, I will note that one thing I wish was not removed from the first person animations is the camera shake, as at times it does kind of resemble swinging an axe on Minecraft. But for the most part it's minor and you'll get over it pretty quickly. But the next mod we're going to look at is Archery Gameplay Overhaul, a mod which overhauls archery in a pretty significant way. Firstly, there are completely new animations for both first and third person with knocked arrows instead of the free-handed technique in vanilla. And all the animations apply to walking, running, sprinting, equipping, and firing. There are also systems integrated for arrows to cause bleeding damage, which will inflict some amount of damage over time for a 30-second duration. And there are also new enchanted arrow types which can be activated after enchanting or wearing a ring with the enchantment choice placed upon it. And as well as tweaking a bunch of stats to do with damage, range, NPC usage, etc. This mod helps to give that bit of depth that you'd want to see in a Lord of the Rings RPG. And together, paired with things like Wildcat and CGO if you'd like, we have a much more dynamic first-person combat system in place in order to truly enhance your Middle-earth orc slaying experience. And if you want a more in-depth detailed first-person experience, I'd recommend checking out Sing Gaming's video, which he goes over a few additional mods which just enhance Skyrim's first-person combat that little bit further. But now we've got a more satisfying combat system, we really need to think about which mods we can include to really give us some objective to our Middle-earth adventure. Survival has become for many a crucial part of the Skyrim modded experience, and to ensure we're able to keep Middle-earth a constantly dynamic and interactive world, we'll need to look at two mods which aim to enhance your day-to-day survival experience. The first is an alternative to iNeed in the form of a less script-heavy mod named Sunhelm. This mod in many ways is going to feel familiar to those that you're already used to, but with a few more nifty integrations, and overall being more performance friendly. Sunhelm integrates a lightweight needs system that demands you sleep, eat, and drink to stay alive, with similar widgets to iNeed so you don't lose that clean HUD integration. Sunhelm is really just an improvement in pretty much every aspect, and has full implemented integration with Campfire and the second survival mod. Hunterborn is a mod which introduces a plethora of new features to hunting both monsters and wildlife, but offering you a bunch of new options to choose from after slaying your target, from field dressing your carcass, to then skinning it for its pelts, then harvesting its meats and resources. Hunterborn introduces that Red Dead Redemption 2 feel to hunting targets. It actually has a bunch of other features too, like animal lures, foraging edible plants, extracting werewolf blood or spider venom, creating bone weapons, and a whole bunch more intricacies that really help to serve that depth to the survival system we want in our Middle-earth world. Now, I've titled this part of the video the Adventure category, because it kind of encompasses all of these additional add-ons to the world that don't really fit anywhere else. First of all, I do want to say, which I probably should have mentioned at the start of the video, this is a part 2 of the Lord of the Rings video last year, so it's intended to be used with some/all of the mods in that video. As although I showed you pretty much every Lord of the Rings mod out there, the actual experience of playing with these mods is still just Skyrim with Lord of the Rings stuff, whereas this is an expansion on a way to create an actual playthrough out of the Middle-earth redone world space, in a more elevated and next-gen style. So here's a few extra mods which we should take a look at in order to achieve our goal. Our first mod is one which many people have asked about in the past, and that's SC Horses. Honestly, still to this date, the best horse replacer I've seen for Skyrim. I believe this mod actually uses the Witcher 3 models for all the horses in the game, which are also perfect for a Lord of the Rings style adventure. They come in a variety of colours which are assigned to their respective horse type, and they really make you more invested in acquiring a horse as they simply just look better. Adding on to creature overhauls, I also wanted to include a mod which gave the spiders in the game a more Middle-earth Mirkwood feel. Arachnid Brutality transforms the models of Skyrim's original spiders into something more disturbing. It's not the biggest change you'll ever see, but the way it reorganises the autonomy of the spiders does give them a more creepy factor that suits a Middle-earth world, and also just makes them a little bit more new and different rather than the same style you're used to for the past 10 years. Next is a newer mod which aims to, in description, change all the Talos statues in the game to be female. But mainly it removes that constant reminder that you're still playing Skyrim whenever you come across a Talos statue asset used in Middle-earth redone. And finally, to top off our Middle-earth adventure, we're also going to be using the main theme from the customizable UI replacer to give our adventure a more new and refreshing feel. And there we have it. A completely transformed landmass, a new fresh feeling for engaging in first-person combat, and a seamlessly integrated survival and adventure system to make the land of Middle-earth a truly interactive experience. And paired with the many mods included in the first Lord of the Rings video, you're left with a completely new world. One that was built years ago, but only now has it been as incredibly fantastical as you'd expect a Middle-earth game to be. And I'm also going to be posting the first episode of a full series using this setup on the second channel, so head over there and subscribe to be ready when that goes live. And finally, we're almost at that 50k milestone, so I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. These videos take a long time to make, so all the support is really appreciated. And this week's shout out goes to JessFed. Head over to Twitter and retweet my pinned tweet about this video for a chance to be shouted out next week. And one last thing. Here's a sneak peek at the intro cinematic to the new second channel series. What the fuck? Where am I? And what the fuck is wrong with the sky?
Welcome, child. You have been selected to save all of humanity thanks to your accomplishments in the horror series.
What accomplishments? All I did was run away from elk for 10 episodes.
Exactly. Let me show you. The elk was sent by us to find and observe the chosen one that manages to survive the horror onslaught.
The chosen one? Like Harry Potter?
No, like Jon Snow.
Wait, but Jon Snow didn't even become king?
Your task is simple. I have placed an ancient powerful ring that can destroy all of humanity inside your toilet.
Why would you put it in the toilet?
You must wake up, collect it, and then travel to Mordor and cast it into the fires of Mount Doom.
No, but seriously, why did you put it in the toilet?
Where else would I put it?
I don't know, through the letterbox.
There's no time for such ridiculous questions. You must wake up and pull the magical artifact from your shitter, then travel to Mordor and defeat the Dark Lord once and for all. There is no time to delay. I will leave you now. Goodbye, chosen one.
What the actual fuck was that? dream. Now, where has that dog gotten to? Garm! Here, boy! Here! Where is that dog?
Hang on, Mr. Odin Simp, we are here to fix your plumbing.
Oh, god damn it, these guys again. Yeah, just 1 second. Goddamn salesman from Bree always bothering me.
Hang on, Mr. Odin Simp, how are you doing on this bad day?
Yep, I know the drill, just get on with it, I'll be in here if you need anything.
Okay, Mr. Odin Simp, it was a pleasure doing business with you.
Ah, there you are. What were you doing in the bathroom? You wasn't drinking toilet water again, was you? Ah, god damn it, Garm. I can't afford to keep having you dewormed. What do you mean you accidentally swallowed a ring in the toilet water? Wait, it didn't happen to look like a magical ring that can destroy all of humanity, did it? Oh, motherfucker.